use our Amazon link down below. When you do, it helps us out and it doesn't cost you a penny more. And after using the link, save it to your bookmarks so you can have easy access to it in the future. Thank you. Hey folks, thank you for joining me today. Yeah, today's going to be a little different than we normally do here on the TSG channel. I had a lot of chores, so I figured, well, I'll take you along with me. It's springtime, and things just love to grow in springtime. And part of what we do around here is, because we have chickens, as you may already know, we not only harvest eggs, we harvest their poop, and that's what I was doing, is kind of scraping up some of that and putting it into a compost pile so that it can compost down. And then when it gets decomposed enough, we then transfer it into a bag and let it sit there until we're ready to use it. And so today we're going to use compost that we made from last year. It was ready to go this year. And I have this plate of vegetables. That's right. Last year, I cut off some celery and planted it in the ground, and we had celery all year until snowpocalypse happened, and it killed off the celery. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to plant celery again, and this year I'm going to plant romaine lettuce. I love romaine lettuce. Now I know, lettuces aren't necessarily the highest in nutritional content, but they do have a lot of fiber. They do taste good. They make some great salads. Better than, I think, iceberg lettuce or the round lettuces. I do like my romaine. So what we did was, well, you know what? Let's just come right down here to the workstation and get a better look at it. Yes, today is your typical Texas day. It started off around 60 degrees. I needed to put on a light, long sleeve shirt because it was kind of cool and breezy and it was nice. And then in about an hour and a half or so that it took to clean out the chicken pen and kind of get all this kind of ready, it shot up to 80 degrees. Yeah, so the sun came out at one point and just heated everything up and made everything humid. Ugh. All right, so it's very simple, folks. We live on a planet that God created so that we could have food to eat right out of the dirt. And just like God pulling man out of dirt, fashioning Adam, we can fashion vegetables right out of the dirt. Actually, what I did was I took the heart of the romaine here, and as you can see, that's the tail end there. Cut off the romaine, prepare a salad, and then I put a plate with a little bit of water and shoved it down in there. And did the same thing with my celery. Now, had you seen this before, there was no greens whatsoever on any of these plants. It was just cut off. It was merely putting it in a little bit of water, and this is about a week's worth of growth. So I put it in a little bit of water, kept this plate just, moist so it could draw up some nutrients. It's also drawing nutrients from itself. And lo and behold, it starts to grow. You just can't stop things from growing on this planet. It's a marvelous thing. So I took some of that compost, and what I'm going to do is transfer this to there and still keep it in a controlled environment until I'm ready to transplant it out of these little pots and plant them into the ground out in the planter beds. It's still not ready. These things may not survive. So I'm going to give it a good college try here. And it's just a matter of digging out a little. You know what? Let me go get another pot so that I can put some of the excess in. I'll be right back. And before I go on, I'm supposed to do this. Can you see that? That's a bell. You're supposed to ring a bell. So, ring the bell. So, I'll just take a little container like this, and I'm going to take out some of this dirt from each because I need to have room to put the celery and the lettuce in and then put some dirt around it. Yeah, I take all of my leaves, most of my leaves, not all, but most of my leaves in fall time and collect them. I use that Ryobi mower. You've seen me use that. Well, it does a great job of sucking up leaves. And so not only do you mow, but you rake up leaves or vacuum up leaves with that thing. And then I'm able to dump the leaves in the compost pile. And then anytime we have leftover vegetables from dinner, like this, we cut it up and put it in the compost pile too and let it decompose. However, from time to time, we'll pull some of these hearts out and try to force them to grow so that we can have a crop. This year there isn't a whole lot of vegetables available. Last year there weren't either, and you've just got to get in, let ingenuity kick in when that happens. This whole, dare I say, I'm going to swap that. Well, no, maybe not. I kind of like it this way. Yeah, dare I say COVID really did jam things up. Or at least the response to it did. I'm not too happy. All right, so I just put all that in there. I'm going to pour or scoop in a little bit of this all around, trying not to smother, if I can help it. There you go. Just like that. Put some of that down in there. Here. I'm gonna just use my hands and get my hands in the dirt. So anyway, compost is just old vegetation, old leaves, anything vegetable, organic like. And throw that in there. We try not to put onions and that kind of thing because onions have have enzymes in them that can cause too much acidity. And some plants don't like that. It depends on the plant. I know that if you were planting blueberries, that would be a different topic altogether. Because blueberries, well, they absolutely love acid soil. There you go. And all I'm trying to do is create a moist environment. The dirt, not only does the dirt have nutrition and nitrogen and all that as it's decomposed, which plants love, by the way, the nitrogen. It holds water. So now if I add water to this, and I'll just take some of this leftover water, pour that in there, it'll stay moist just like if it was in this plate. But now I'm adding nitrogen, a little bit of the other elements and compounds that decomposed vegetation offers. Now I'm not packing them in there tight. I am putting them firmly into the dirt, but I'm not pushing it down because I do want to encourage root growth. And for right now, the heart part is really swollen with water. And I'm pretty sure that any moment, when it gets to this point, any moment, little roots are going to start to come out of that. And lo and behold, you will have vegetables. Now, how long will this take? I would say the celery, by the time we have late summer, so this is, where are we? March? Towards the end of March here. April, May, June, July. Yeah, so 4 months or so. We should have celery that we can actually cut and use later this summer, which is kind of nice. and then and these plants will grow. I mean, very big. Celery, gets tall and lots of foliage, and all of that's edible. The romaine, I'm going to see what this does. I think I'm just going to have one set of leaves, and I'll have to cut it. And when I cut it, it'll probably start to grow again. And if this goes well this year, next year, I'm going to plant more of these because it's harder and harder to find romaine in the store. And I can grow it just as easily. Problem is, I'm trading compost material for growing material. So I'll have to get kind of ingenious in what I stick in my compost dirt. I don't want to put seeds and things in there because I don't want stuff to grow. What you can do is really cook this stuff in the sun, and steam starts to come off. And once that happens, then your soil is kind of sterilized. Stuff's not going to grow arbitrarily. You've kind of killed off everything. That's been my experience anyway. If any of you have any other experience with compost, chime in. We've only been composting for about, 15 years or so. And I tell you, we learn something new about compost all the time. All right, so let me clean a little bit of this up and then finish up. All right, so the one thing I forgot to tell you, we save our lids and our containers all the time. So anything plastic that we can that has consumables inside, whether it's food or other things, we'll keep the lid, we'll keep the container. Now this happens to be previous planting containers, and we just stack them up, put them in the garden shed. But you can use just about anything. You do want to put a hole in something. These already have the holes. That's just to let drainage happen, and you want to do that if you just use a regular container. For example, if you just used like this, I don't know what this was, pickles, salad, whatever it was, you may want to poke a little hole in the bottom of that so you have some drainage. Because what you don't want is standing water, and anything like this, mold and mildew will start to grow and all sorts of yucky stuff. But anyway, take a lid of something else and put it underneath, because if you overwater or as water just kind of seeps through, you don't want to leave dirty water everywhere. I don't. So this is probably going to go on a little patio table outside in the backyard for a while, and I'll keep it moist. Get some sun to it. It's already, like I said, today, it's 80 degrees, and we're done with any of our frost weather. We're done with anything below 50 degrees. Now, that's not true, because I just saw on the weather report we're supposed to get a 39-degree night, but that's not enough to really damage this if it's only once and it's only for just a couple of hours in the wee, hours of the morning. And it's under shelter, and it'll be in our patio area. It will get evening sun, and it'll be nice and warm during the days. I'll keep it moist, get some sun on it, and stuff will grow. We'll watch the progress of my 2 celeries and my 1 romaine lettuce. I'll take you along the next time we get together, and that'll probably be to plant these in the ground when it's ready. Okay, that's it. A little bit different of a video. I've had some people direct message and talk about the garden. This was late last year. We were talking about garden stuff, and I figured I'm starting to plant some things now. I'll get to those topics and bring them to you. So that's what we do. Of course, we go to the grocery store. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it that way, because there are a lot of people that wouldn't go to the grocery store. They would just grow everything. And to you all, man, you guys are awesome. And the farmers that do this all the time, awesome. Thank you. For those of you that bring produce to the market. But I don't rely on the market 100%. We love to be able to put some work into the soil and harvest out of it the bounty that the soil can bring, because that's how God created it to be. And then we love to consume the things. Tomatoes, cucumbers, pickles. Well, we make pickles from cucumbers. Shooting Gal does. You've seen some videos of those. Hunt around for those in the TSG channel. You'll see some of that. But that's what we do. We do some market stuff, but we love to grow stuff ourselves, especially when it's getting expensive and hard to find. Yeah. So we're going to take off, and as we zip out of here, I'm just going to show you some of the blossoms on our pear trees. Whew, they're all coming in. and our peach trees, their blossoms have already dropped. We're going to get peaches soon enough. We'll see you a little later, okay? Love you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget, you could always send us an email at theshootingguy@gmail.com if you have any questions or even prayer needs or anything that you want to talk about. Go ahead and send it on. Go to the contact page on our website. That's another spot. Or just right here in the comment section. I get notified of comments, and I do my best to get answers back to you. So don't be afraid to do that. We love to encourage you to communicate with us as we communicate back to you on our channel. That's it. God bless you. God bless America. May America bless God. We'll see you. This cheeseburger sweat? I don't eat cheeseburgers. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to push that thing.